Hey there, welcome back friends. In this video we will try to set things up. Now friends, if we load our application, the home page is this particular page where we can select multiple images and upload them. Now there is no such restriction. We can select other type of files as well, but in order to make things very simple, we will only handle the file of images type in our application. Now friends, in here this form is good enough, and if we check the URL is nothing but the base URL. Now friends, if we wish to handle multiple pages, if we wish to add some additional functionality into our application, definitely we need a provision so that we can handle multiple requests, multiple pages through servlet. Now in here, for example, if we wish to handle the multiple pages using the same servlet, then in that case we can handle it via methods. So moving forward, let us quickly add in a method in here. This would be a public method. The return type would be void and the name would be files upload. And definitely the parameter needs to be similar to this do post method. So in order to save some time, let me copy this part and paste this in here. Alright, and now we will cut the business logic from the do post method and paste this inside this files upload method. Alright, and now we need to handle the do post method in such a way that when we will submit the form must be submitted and the information of request and response needs to be forwarded to this form. Now the answer is very simple. We will simply make use of a switch case inside the do post method. So let us do that. And before that, we need to also make some small little modification inside our form itself. Let me show you. Alright, so this is the form which is acting as the home page as of now. But in here, the action would be now modified a little. So we will type in question mark and we will type in action equals files upload. All right, let me copy this particular part again, and now let us move into our servlet. All right, so when we are adding this part, means we are adding an additional parameter by the name of action, and we are giving the value as files upload. So take a note of it. We can read that parameter inside this do post method. So in here, first of all, let us add in a string variable by the name of action, and let us read the parameter as request dot get parameter, and the name of the parameter would be action. All right, so this looks good to me. Now let us add in a switch case. Switch would be based on this action variable. All right, and now let us add in the cases. So case 1 would be nothing but our files upload, right? And if this is the case, what we will do, definitely we will forward the request to this files upload method. So in here we will call in the files upload method and we will pass on the request and response object. Now moving forward, let us also call in the break statement. All right, and now let us also add in the default case. Now when it comes to the default case, we will forward the request to the index page. So it would be request dot get request dispatcher, and we will forward the request to index dot JSP page, and then we will forward the request and response object. Alright, so this looks good. Now everything is good enough. Now friends, there is a small little thing again in here. Whenever we are storing the information in our file system or in our database, what is happening is if there is a repetitive file, if there is a redundant file, then the file is getting rewritten, but in our database there is some inconsistency when there is a duplicate file. So in order to tackle this issue, let us do one small little thing. In here I will type in file equals new file, and the path is very simple. Let me copy this part and paste this in here. Alright, so this looks good. And in here we will add in a condition, and the condition would be if file not exist. If the file is a new file, then only we will perform the operation, else we will don't perform the operation of file writing and adding the information in the database. Alright, so this looks good. Now in fact we have already created this particular file object, so creating a new object in here again is not a requirement. We can directly pass on this object file as well. Again our work would be done. Alright, so this looks good to me, and now finally let us test whether our application is still working after these modifications or not. Alright, so the application is working properly, and friends, I have already removed all the entries in the database, and I have also removed all the files from this images folder as well. So now let us rerun this application by adding one of the file. Let me click on upload. Our application is working properly. Fantastic, everything is working properly. And let me show you, let me refresh. The information got added in the database. Let me show you the images folder. It is also added, so the file got uploaded perfectly. Now there is a issue. Whenever we are like submitting this form, we are getting this blank page. Now moving forward, we will add a yet another page so that we can display the information which is available to us, and the name of the page would be listing the images. Now friends, in here there is a small little typo. First of all, it is files upload, there is this typo. Let me fix that real quick. So it would be like file upload, and let me also fix the name on our servlet. Alright, and now moving forward, let us create a new file, a new JSP file. The name would be list files, and we will click on finish. Now friends, take a note of it that we are handling only the image files in here. We are not handling any other type of files, so take a note of it. So listing images could be a good title, and in here as of now we won't add any business logic, rather we will simply type in listing images. Alright, so now let us move into our image upload.java file, our servlet, and now in here let us add in a yet another case. So this would be like case where the action is listing images. Alright, and when this is the case, then definitely what we will do is we will call in a yet another method by the name of listing images. So let us do that. So it would be like listing images, and we will pass on the request and response object as well. Here we go, and then we will add in the break statement. Alright, now this particular like listing images method is not available, so let us hover upon this and let us create this method real quick. Alright, and let me expand this, and now let us add a very simple statement in here. It would be like request dot get request dispatcher, and we will forward the request to our file listfiles.jsp. So it would be like listfiles.jsp, and then we will forward the request and response object. Here we go. So this looks good to me, and I guess there is some kind of error. Alright, so we will add the throws declaration as well. Now friends, moving forward, once the file uploading method is done working, then we will also call in this method so that we can get a view after the file upload. So it would be like calling in the listing images method and passing on the request and response object, and this should like fix the issue of a blank page after the file submission. Let me quickly show you how this will perform once we run this application. Alright, so here is our web page. Let me browse and select one of the file. Let me click on upload, and this should give us a page which will say listing images. Alright, so everything is working properly. Alright, in our next video, we will try to implement the business logic for the listing images page. So something interesting is coming up. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day and take care.